What's good, people? I'm Escudo, and tonight we are going to watch Bernard Hopkins taking on Felix Tito Trinidad, live from Madison Square Garden.
Boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Madison Square Garden, it is time for the main event of the evening.
Bernard rocking that classic gimp mask, the executioner.
Fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, white, and blue trunks, hailing from and representing Coupe Alto, Puerto Rico.
Alright, Felix Trinidad, as you can probably guess, is Puerto Rican. One of the better Puerto Rican fighters to come out. One of the better fighters to come out of there in modern times. Has a pretty good resume. He has a decision win over Oscar de la Hoya in an excellent fight that was. And he also beat Pernell Whitaker. Granted, Pernell was kind of on the downslide then. He had kind of a coke problem. But any version of Pernell Whitaker is a bad motherfucker. So here he is. He started off as a welterweight, I want to say, and at 147 pounds. And went up in weight class, won the junior middleweight belt against, I want to say it was Fernando Vargas. And here he is, stepping up to middleweight. He knocked out middleweight William Joppy in his last fight, who's an underrated fighter. I really like William Joppy. But yeah, he's taken on one of my favorite fighters of all time. Serious knockout artist. Great left hook, great right hand. Real dangerous from mid-range.
World champion in 3 weight divisions, the current WBA middleweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome El Gran Campeón Puertorriqueño, introducing Felix Tito Trinidad. Opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue
still
corner,
the mask on.
Oh,
I love B-Hop, and everyone boos. Philadelphia.
He weighed in at a trim and ready 157 pounds. His record stands at 39 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, with 28 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, he is making the 14th defense of his title. Here is the WBC
of the IBF,
and IBF
middleweight title
champion of the world, introducing Bernard, the executioner.
Hopkins. God, I hate those golden palace tattoos. I'm so glad that stopped. Ugh. Alright, so Bernard Hopkins is one of the finest technicians in the modern era. I love watching Bernard Hopkins. He's so intelligent, so technical. Bernard Hopkins came to boxing while he was doing time for, I want to say it was an armed robbery. And he found boxing in prison, started to take it seriously. And when he got out of prison, the warden, as he was leaving, said, "Oh, I'll see you soon, Bernard." Figuring Bernard would be in jail for the rest of his life for some reason or another, but he proved the warden wrong, and went out, got his first professional fight. He lost his first professional fight, and he said after that loss he needed to make a choice, that if he was going to box, he needed to live, eat, breathe, and sleep boxing, and he did, and he went on an incredible run. I believe after his first fight, he went undefeated until he ran into Roy Jones Jr. and he lost a decision because Roy Jones Jr. is just a freak. Still the closest thing to Spider-Man I've ever seen. And so, Roy moved up a weight class, Bernard stayed at middleweight and just cleaned up. I believe, like they said, this is the 17th defense of his middleweight, the IBF title. Although he had acquired a couple of the other belts. The whole belt system in boxing is ridiculous and insane, but whatever. And one more thing about this fight. This fight's taking place in Madison Square Garden. It was originally scheduled for September 15th, 2001. But due to the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center, the fight was postponed. So I believe this is happening on September 29th. But this is the first real big fight to take place after the terrorist attacks in New York. And if I remember correctly, there'll be a little 9/11 memorial in the bottom right of your screen. All right, guys, let's do this.
Once again, a referee in charge, Steve Smoger, now to give instructions.
Steve Smoger.
We're giving you instructions in the weigh-in, both in English and Spanish. Please obey my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Respect the bell. Touch gloves. Touch them up. Respect. Touch them, Bernard.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
let's do this.
The fight to survive and thrive have always made New York a fight town, now more than ever. Bernard Hopkins, Felix Trinidad personified that spirit.
Bernard Hopkins claims he wants to test Trinidad's chin in the first round. Trinidad's father says his son is going to knock Hopkins out in the first round. Sometimes all that is just talk. Sometimes it means real fireworks from the opening bell. Trinidad knocked Joppy down in the first. He knocked Vargas down twice in the first. Trinidad can't be waiting with this boxer. He's got to get off. Bernard Hopkins' job is to stay close, make this guy discouraged, make him look to the referee and start complaining early.
Hopkins is a little bigger. You know, he's a couple inches taller. He's more natural middleweight than Trinidad, but Trinidad is not a small guy by any means. If I remember correctly, he ended his career at light heavyweight at 175. Could be wrong on that part. And his New York crowd is clearly very pro Felix Trinidad. A lot of Puerto Ricans living in New York.
In favor of Trinidad as they demonstrated in pre-fight pageantry.
Trinidad still trying to jab. Hopkins comes back with a 1-2. Leads with a left hook.
As close as he can. Hopkins prizes his skills as an infighter. Many experts expect that Hopkins at some point will try to get up into Trinidad's depth and take away his punching range. And he hasn't done that yet.
Still just jabbing, circling. Hopkins working the safety lead with the jab with the step to the left. You know, Tito's really known for his left hook. So when he works that safety lead and he steps to the left, he's taking himself out of the path of Tito's dangerous left hook. And when he steps right, he makes sure he's out of range when he does that. Tito walks him into the ropes with the jab, but seems kind of hesitant. Doesn't really want to let his hands go. Hopkins tries to lead right. Comes in with the left hook, grabs Tito by the back of the head and starts hammering away with that right hand. And Tito lands a punch as they exit the clinch. Hopkins working that left hook to the body, too. It's good strategy. Attacking high and low with the same punch. Trinidad walks in with the right hand. Hopkins tries to counter with the left hook, but misses.
Hopkins just not figure yet how to get close.
Ooh, nice. Ducks under the left hook from Trinidad and escapes off the rope. Uses that left hand to grab Trinidad around the head and start firing in uppercuts and right hands.
Smoger hasn't yet been a part of the action. He's the third man in the ring, the referee.
Bernard Hopkins trying to get off the ropes, ends up fighting his way off the ropes on the 1-2. Hopkins walks in with the uppercut and the lead right hand, grabbing on with that left hand and hammering away with the right. Steve Smoger lets it go because Steve Smoger's an amazing referee. Ugh.
Round one is a bit of a scuffle. Hopkins got a little of what he wanted and landed
all right. Not a bad first round. You know, a bit of a feeling out process, but Bernard started to get his inside game going, grabbing on with that left hook. A solid strategy. Doing good.
Stay out of the corner. The fight goes in the center of the ring, and I want you to jab. Pump that jab. We worked on it, so let's pump it. Pump it.
Work that jab. Stay out of the corners. Keep it in the center of the ring. It's good advice, you know. Hopkins is a bit taller.
Everyone calm, you know, be tranquil. He can't beat me. I got him. Are you okay now,
He
Tito?
can't beat me. I got him.
You gotta move, Tito. You got that jab. Make sure the jab is first.
Telling him to lead with the jab. Make sure your jab gets to that first. Don't wait for Hopkins. He wants Trinidad on the lead. Which is interesting, because Hopkins is a great counterpuncher.
Hopkins was 6 out of 43, according to CompuBox. Harold Letterman scored the round for Tito
Hopkins
Trinidad.
is getting there first with the jab. Yet again.
Hopkins is being real smart. He jabs, yet he understands that he has sort of
Trying to
a reach
circle
advantage
away
with
from
the
the
height
ropes,
there.
keep it in the center of the
He's
ring,
out of the
following
way
his
once
corner's
he does
advice.
that jabbing.
Bernard Hopkins
You want to make
Trying to get away from
moving,
the deadly
showing him angles, and the crowd boos because
You really want to make Trinidad throw a lot of lefts because he prefers to hit you with that right, then throw that left hook.
George, is it fair to guess that Hopkins either wants to be way outside or way inside?
Yeah, he just
Hopkins
hasn't
leads with
taken
the
out
right
this
hand.
guy yet.
Ooh, that was nice.
Trying to get
Hopkins
the
led with the right hand and the left hook, and Trinidad backed away. But Trinidad wants to be on the front foot. He wants to come forward. So what Hopkins did was just wait for Trinidad to take that step forward so he could land that right hook to the body as he stepped forward. Trinidad helped him close the distance to land that shot.
Neither fighter really into an offensive rhythm yet. Trinidad threw a limited number of punches for him in round one.
Trinidad starts opening up a bit more. The 1-2.
Trinidad trying to close the
Slipping
range down
that jab,
and
but
step in on
Tito
Hopkins.
isn't jabbing like his corner told him to.
So that long right hand can come. So he doesn't want to completely close it.
Still
Get
slipping.
right on the mark.
Hopkins leads with the right, gets inside.
This is unusual that Hopkins would give Trinidad this kind of respect in the first couple of rounds. Very surprising.
Lands a nice right hand as he steps out to his left.
That's what you don't want to do with
You
this.
thought that Hopkins would gamble more against Trinidad early?
Just jump right on him. You're not. He said he wasn't afraid.
Nice counter jab from
Talking
Hopkins.
to talk, now you got to jump on him.
Another nice jab off the safety lead. The step to the left.
Taking it accurately.
The step to the left and the jab. When Tito jabs, Hopkins steps out to his left and just connects on a jab of his own. Beautiful counter jab from Hopkins. Hopkins is being a lot more aggressive with the jab than Trinidad is. Trinidad really, he needs to follow his corner's advice. If he wants to take that space and lead and put Hopkins on the ropes, he needs that jab to cut the ring. To take that space from Bernard Hopkins. Get him backing up. You see, he just did right there. And Hopkins was on the ropes. Ooh, Bernard opens up with the 1-2 and lands a vicious right hand. Lands a vicious right hand.
How do you feel, Tito? He didn't hurt you, did he? Well, don't get careless now.
Hopkins threw a lot of punches in that round. God damn, 83 punches?
You gotta go that way. Make sure
Oh no, that
you
was
grab
3 rounds here. My bad. He's averaging about 40 punches a round. Which isn't bad. See that right hand comes to 1-2 and just nails him with that short straight right.
Come to him, found him in range. The punch was a little high. Trinidad might have been momentarily stunned, but took the punch well.
CompuBox numbers in round 2. Hopkins 10 out of 40. Trinidad 2 out of 19. So Felix Trinidad in 2 rounds has thrown by CompuBox numbers.
Trinidad is having a
only
real
46
problem
punches.
trying to get off of
Hopkins
his
throwing
punches.
twice as many, not landing
Because
all
Bernard
that much,
Hopkins is
but
doing
the
a
one
great
big
job of
right
controlling the
hand
range
was the biggest blow
with
of the
that
bunch.
jab.
You don't want to get a kid like that, man.
He's either
Once you hit him
outside or
once,
inside,
get back
and
on
he's
him and do
never in
something.
between. He moves to the outside, staying outside.
Tito's father asking him
Tito's
some,
inching
his
forward,
son
trying to take space.
Work the jab. Work the jab. He tries to get started with it here.
Again, nice counter
Firing the
jab.
left hand again.
Trinidad is on the mark.
What do you mean by that, George?
He's on the ball of that right foot. When you see him up on his right foot like that,
Another nice counter jab. Trinidad's having real issues with the range here. Hopkins, you know, the taller guy, is keeping that jab very consistent. Again, every time Tito tries to step in, he just ends up walking into a jab. Beautiful boxing, beautiful understanding of how to control distance and range from Bernard Hopkins.
Punches his hands just for that reason.
Hopkins varying the pace just a little, leading with the left hook there instead of the jab. Now
Tito gets in, he starts trying to bang away, and he backs out. He's trying to get into punching the mid-range where you can land that left hook and right hand. He's trying to, that's where Trinidad wants to fight. But Bernard is bigger and stronger on the inside, and he's a hell of a technician. He's got great skills on the inside to land punches. And Hopkins' jab is so long that if he stays on the end of the jab, Tito can't reach him. So all Hopkins really needs to do is stay out of that mid-range, where Trinidad can put that nasty left hook and right hand to work.
Yeah, he can box, and he's always successful if he boxes, but you don't want your back touching those ropes.
Hands up.
You don't need the whole ring to box, just the middle of it.
Hopkins, Trinidad's trying to jab more now. Hopkins closes the distance with a body shot, gets up on him, and smothers him down so Tito can't hit back.
That there is some printing on the back of Bernard Hopkins, who rented it out for about $100,000 to a .com gambling service, and then bet the $100,000.
Nice short left hook from Tito.
Either way, the tattoo's winning, huh?
Yeah, either way, the tattoo's already fading as the sweat pours off of Hopkins'
Trinidad's trying to. Nice short right from Hopkins.
Knowing the bet looks pretty good, at least for the moment, as he gives Trinidad a spirited fight.
Bernard Hopkins is dictating the tempo, and he's making Trinidad think about coming more to him.
Nice counter jab from Trinidad as the round comes to an end. Bernard Hopkins, he just understands range. You know, he's a very intelligent cat. If he can keep you on the end of that jab all night, he'll keep you on the end of that jab all night. And if he needs to go inside, he'll go inside. But he does not want to stand at mid-range and brawl with Felix Trinidad, because Trinidad's a big puncher.
You're going to have it to get him there. Not the hard shot, it's that quick shot inside. You get him out of there.
I think it's really interesting. Bernard Hopkins would later go on to become the oldest champion in the history of boxing. I want to say it was like 40. He might have actually been in his 50s. I know he fought Sergey Kovalev when he was like 50 before he got knocked out of the ring by Joe Smith in his last fight. I'm not going to watch that fight. I don't need to watch a 52-year-old Bernard Hopkins get beat up by a guy he probably would have destroyed in his prime. Because that's just sad to me. I don't need that in my life. Trinidad stalking forward behind the jab. Gets Bernard against the ropes. Bernard ducks under a hook and pushes his way out. Trinidad with the 1-2 left hook and catches B-Hop with the left hook. Hopkins coming back with right hands. Oh, now it's starting to pick it up. Hopkins grabs on with that left hand, lands a short right hook.
Now lands the short right hand inside. Power against power. Which man is stronger at close range?
starts using his brains, don't go back to Philadelphia too soon.
Oh my God, George Foreman was a terrible commentator in this fight. I remember that now.
With Trinidad's
Ugh.
punch.
No, that punch can't be dealt with, Larry. You gotta stay smart.
You gotta stay smart.
Stay smart.
He's staying up close. So Trinidad can't really gather enough space to get power with that left hook. If you're up close, really all you can do is kind of slap with it. You won't get real good torque, and you won't get your hips into a left hook unless you have just a little bit of space. But Hopkins is either staying way the hell out of range or getting so up close that Trinidad can't get the type of torque he needs. He can't really get his hips into it. And that's how Hopkins is staying safe from that left hook.
But there have been moments here in round 4 when Tito seemed to be turning the tide.
Hopkins intending to move like this is a good idea. He did weigh in at 157.
Hopkins with his back to the ropes, shooting straight punches to keep Tito out of range. Trinidad does some nice body work as Hopkins exits off the rope.
Felix went to the body as Bernard moved away.
Bernard once again is spending too much time on the ropes.
So far,
Ooh, nice head movement from Bernard, ducking under that left hook.
completely neutralized the left hand of Trinidad. Can Trinidad find a way to put him on the defensive without that left hand?
Nice shoulder roll with the right hand from Hopkins. Owns it off the shoulder.
Hopkins lands flush.
Nice shot from Bernard. Another good round for Bernard.
It was a close enough round that that last big right hand by Hopkins may have been the decisive blow.
Punches. Hopkins is just busier. The jab is dictating everything for Hopkins. When Tito gets him on the ropes, he immediately throws that lead right hand or the lead left hook and grabs Tito, and then positions himself so he can walk around Tito and get back out into open space.
That was the 5th round, and now we're calm.
Let's see if I can. If it happens again in the next round, I'll stop it and show you what I mean.
Keep your hands up. Yeah, you gotta keep your hands up so you can get him.
Tito does not look confident. Felix Trinidad does not look confident right now. He knows he's getting beat.
Bowie Fischer is not nearly as well known as Felix Trinidad Sr., but Fischer is a 73-year-old proven pro who knows every trick in the book and has done a brilliant job of training
Hopkins with the 1-2. Trinidad's now using a lot more lateral movement.
That's not a good idea. Don't jab with him. You catch him off balance and then jab him because he turns that jab into a hook once you start trying to step in with power. Trinidad does.
Lead right from Bernard.
Wait until he's finished and then get it.
Alright, so Trinidad's backing him into the ropes. Bernard steps out into space.
Hopkins blocking Trinidad's jab with his right
Just
glove.
parrying that jab away. Trinidad still coming forward. Nice step off. Slipped the jab and stepped off the angle. Hopkins lands a short right hand, left hook. Hopkins comes forward. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. All right, this is what I mean when I say infighting. What Hopkins does is he'll throw the first punch to just draw a counter that he will inevitably slip and then get to the inside where he can grab on. And as he exits the clinch, he'll look to throw a big shot. Let's take another look at that in slow motion. I'm going to turn this volume down because it sounds retarded. All right, right here. Steps in with that right hand. Right now, watch. Trinidad is going to fire a left hook, I believe. Yep, ducks underneath the left hook. And then Hopkins gets to the inside. Waits for Trinidad to try and grab on. Grabs his head with the right hand and fires a short left hook on the exit. Bernard Hopkins knows how to use the clinch. He knows how to alter the distance and land big shots. That 1-2, he knows that left hook is coming. Tito loves that counter left hook. So he just ducks underneath it, comes up, grabs a hold of him with the right hand, and as he's pushing him off, he throws the left hook and catches Tito. Beautiful stuff from Bernard.
Hopkins fires a little left hook inside.
Hopkins is doing a good job of staying over there, making Trinidad throw those left hooks. That's where you want to be because he's a bit more accurate with his right hands, Trinidad is. Make him miss with left hook. Don't try to make him miss with the right hands.
Trinidad lands a nice counter jab.
Hopkins a little bit quicker with his jab. Now
Trinidad has him where he wants him. Well, he throws the right hand. Hopkins ducks underneath, gets in close, and then pivots out to his left. Brilliant ring IQ from Hopkins. You notice the fucking punch in the thigh. Let's watch it. I love Bernard Hopkins. Watch it again. Watch it. He punches him in the thigh because Bernard Hopkins is the cheapest man. He's a veteran. He's crafty. He knows the ref isn't going to be able to see it, so he'll just jack you in the thigh, and then that wears on you. Getting punched in the thigh hurts. Takes your legs out. Nice counter jab again. Hopkins leads with the right hand. Blocks the left hook. Falk comes back with his own left hook. Tie up on the inside. Tito lands a right. Hopkins uses head movement, keeps himself safe, but Tito turning it up, and Hopkins turns it up in return. Yeah, he's outworking him. He's outworking him with his defense. Nice counter jab off the left hook from Tito. Straight right. Oh my God. Yeah, Hopkins is clearly winning this fight. He's very skilled, very defensively responsible. He's not taking any punches that he doesn't need to. Ooh, nice left hook to the body. And they go after the bell. Hopkins is not going to be intimidating. He's a crafty veteran. He's been through a ton of fights. This is his 17th title defense. You think this guy hasn't seen, a dirty fighter before? Somebody who's really tried to, make it a nasty, nasty fight? Hopkins has seen everything. He can't do nothing to you. Alright, let's take a look. Ooh, nice body shot from Trinidad. And nice left hook as the bell rings. And Hopkins returns fire. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Round 6.
And Oscar De La Hoya came out and appeared to many eyes at ringside to win the first 7 rounds against Felix Trinidad. None of the 3 judges sitting at ringside scored it exactly that way. Right now, there's a chance that in the eyes of many here, Bernard Hopkins has won the first 5 rounds against Trinidad. Will the judges once again...
Yeah, Bernard Hopkins has won all these fights. Has won all these rounds.
That's what happened against De La Hoya.
This is the kind of champ Trinidad that you're going to knock it out.
Ooh, nice 1-2 from Hopkins. Uses that safety lead to get away from the ropes. Step to the left behind the jab. Trade jabs. Hopkins is really firing that jab too.
No, you can't coach yourself to a victory with a champion like this. The judges are not going to allow you to do it.
Nice. We left hook. Hopkins varies his leads very well. He can lead with any punch, aside from the uppercut, which is just sort of madness. He'll lead with the jab, he'll lead with the left hook to clinch up and get to the inside. He'll lead with the right hand and use the dart to get off the ropes. So he grabs with that left hand again, land a right hand. Ooh, nice short right hand from Bernard, and another one. Tito looks for that left hook. Oh, Trinidad turning it up, throwing that left hooks, but Hopkins is staying safe behind his defense. None of those really landed. Hopkins turning it up now. Throwing combinations. 1-2 left hook. Look at how well he shortens up his punches. Trinidad is right in his face, and instead of throwing a full right hand, he'll just go and just do his damage with that. You know, he's not putting himself off balance. He's staying good and tight defensively. On the ropes, Bernard Hopkins is an amazing fighter to watch.
Back to the ropes again, Hopkins.
For that uppercut, left hook. Trinidad's coming forward. He's still throwing punches, but Bernard his defense is just too good.
And this is Trinidad's game. You can't play power shot with Trinidad because every time he hits you, you are still lingering on.
Ooh, nice left hook from Trinidad. Hopkins lands one of his own, ties him up. Trinidad's trying to leverage him back with that forearm. Trinidad's complaining about a headbutt. Hopefully we'll get a slow-mo on that. I didn't see a headbutt, but great fight. Great fight. They really started to turn it up in that round.
Keep doing your job. Don't give it no excuses for no bullshit out there. Keep doing your job. You're doing all right. Only thing I want to see is that quick right hand. The quick right hand. Tito, please. Watch the heads.
I want to see slow-mo. If there was a headbutt, I missed it. Let's see. Let's see if we can catch it again here. Nice left hook. Kind of a headbutt. Ooh, nasty left hook from Hopkins. I didn't see the headbutt.
Trinidad aggressive, perhaps a little frustrated at the end.
You're not going to find this kind of determination often in a fight as you see in Felix Trinidad.
Why don't you want to give Hopkins more credit, George? He's fighting a terrific fight so far.
He's doing a great job. But this determination of this guy keeps coming back. It just takes everything out of your legs, takes everything out of your heart.
Well, they're both champions.
Between rounds, Felix Trinidad asked his father in the corner, "Am I winning the fight?" And Trinidad Sr. said, "Yes, you are." Harold Letterman, how have you scored it through 6?
Yeah, no. Felix Trinidad is not winning this fight.
Bernard Hopkins. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I'd ever see Bernard Hopkins win this fight with an outside game, but that's what he's doing. Staying outside, hot on the jab, coming back with the straight right hands. In that round 6, I just thought Felix Trinidad was a little bit the aggressor, got into better shots. I've given Trinidad rounds 1 and 6, all the rest
Hopkins staying on the ropes. I feel like he's trying to bait Tito in because he knows his inside game is better than Tito's.
Trinidad catches you in that exchange. It's top trouble time.
More and more, George, Trinidad is able to land his left hook. Why?
Nice jab from Hopkins. Nice straight right from Hopkins. Gets to the inside. He's hitting him in the ass. Hitting him in the leg again. Completely illegal. But Hopkins, he's a crafty veteran. Interesting. You know, you don't see a lot of guys do that. Of all the ways to foul, it just seems like the most subtle. It's very difficult to detect, especially, you know, because Steve Smoger's to the right of them. Hopkins will always do it on the left side, or vice versa. Hopkins has enough awareness to know where the referee is when he attempts to foul.
If he's going to hit you, let him be out of position to do it good.
Ooh, nice left hook. Ooh, he feints to the body and then comes over the hand with over the top with an overhand right. Nice short, slappy left hook from Hopkins.
Exceeding the expectations of many. That's not like a Philadelphia fighter at all.
boxers out of Philadelphia, and you couldn't survive the famous gym wars in Philadelphia if you couldn't box.
Yeah, this guy's boxing tonight.
Oscar De La Hoya exposed the vulnerability of Trinidad, and Bernard Hopkins is trying to use that model to dominate the fight.
Yes, particularly Trinidad's vulnerability to feints and movement. Hopkins said to me, I'm no De La Hoya, but I saw that Felix fell for every feint against Oscar, so I'll be using them too.
Yeah, he's feinting very well. Feinting very well.
Toss the lead on him, son.
Bernard Hopkins is dominating this fight. Trinidad's had a couple moments, but Bernard Hopkins really using his height well, using his jab well,
Let's see.
feinting well.
If you get up there, you throw some punches so we can get him. Now you got to work with him real good.
You got to work with him. You got to throw more punches.
See if we can punch it up and down. You got to throw punches. One hand, one hand. When you get him, the fight will be over. He's not going to be able to take your punches.
He's not. Tito looks beaten. He looks like he knows he's losing.
Three judges, one from the United States, one from Thailand, one from South Africa. Maybe the verdict falls into their hands, although Felix Trinidad certainly will want to try to put Hopkins on his back. In round 7 by CompuBox numbers, Hopkins landed 18 punches.
Notice how he drops his hand before he comes up with that left hook. Ooh, nice right hand. Left hook, right hand from Hopkins. Comes in with another lead left hook and gets out, lands a nice straight right hand on the lead. Short little choppy punches on the inside from Hopkins. That lead left hook. He's every time he throws it, Tito gives him space instead of trying to counter it. Ooh, nice short right hand. Beautiful inside fighting. Another one. Hopkins' inside game is beautiful. He knows how to use the punching lanes. He knows how to use his uppercut to open up his hooks. And he knows how to shorten his straight punches so that he's not leaving glaring openings in his technique. You know, not leaving glaring openings in his defense. Hopkins goes for a little walk, gets against the ropes, throws the lead right, goes inside. Still hitting him in the leg. Ooh, nice 1-2 from Hopkins. Ooh, nice 4-punch combination. The 1-2, the left hook, and the uppercut. Nice counter jab again from Hopkins. Look at him playing games. Tito has some power. A nice short body shot. Those. I think Tito. He needs to throw that straight right to the body, not to the head. Hopkins is able to move his head and get out of the way of that straight right every time he throws it. But if you throw it down to the body, then it's a much higher percentage punch. Hopkins trading hooks with him. Hopkins.
Trinidad has been trying to lay on Hopkins' left hand. Hopkins seems to get his left hand right out of the trap and hold Trinidad. If he's able to just lay on that left hand of Hopkins once.
Short left hook to the body, tying him up on the inside, land the right hand.
Hopkins lands a nice right hand just after the bell.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff from Bernard Hopkins.
And here's a graphic that demonstrates the degree to which Hopkins has dominated. CompuBox punch stat numbers outlanding Tito Trinidad.
And once again, you know, Trinidad is a good fighter. He's an excellent fighter, but he's sort of tailor-made for Bernard Hopkins. Bernard You know, he's a power puncher with a big left hook, big right hand. That's all he. You know, he's not a great outside fighter, and he's not a great inside fighter. So Hopkins is able to dominate those two aspects of the fight and avoid the third one completely.
Sometimes it takes a long time to be young. Bernard Hopkins at 36 still seems young, fighting one of the great fighters of recent times.
Age has got nothing to do with it tonight. It's all about the best fighter who can take it.
Nice jabs. Those jabs from Bernard Hopkins, dictating the range.
You're reaching the stage where Trinidad would need a knockout to win if Hopkins can stand up the rest of the way.
Trinidad has tried getting those
These short counter jabs, man. Hopkins is Trinidad goes to the body with the left hook. Hopkins goes to the head with his. Trinidad's hand was out of position. His hand was down low, so the left hook came over the top and smacked him.
all of that determination. Hopkins has not been 1 ounce. Maybe he should.
You know, fellas, remember what Mark Antonio Barrera did against Prince Ahmed?
Trinidad's leading with that straight right. He's trying to get to the body. But he's trying to get to the body with hooks, which means he's getting into Bernard's inside range, the range at which Bernard Hopkins can smother him. He can fight him dirty like he does there again, hitting him in the leg. That's Bernard's range, and so if Trinidad wants to go to the body, the straight right would do a lot better work for him than his left hook, which he's been trying to land. Hopkins puts his hooks and uppercuts together and lands one. Nice right hand to the body from Hopkins. Ooh, nice left hook from Hopkins. Sticking with that counter jab. Making Tito pay for being outside, and then the second he comes in, he closes the distance himself. And they start fighting on the inside. Hopkins working the body. Keeping that jab out, and just wham! Nice short, straight right hand. He shortens up his punches so well.
For the first time in the fight, Hopkins is grinning at Tito Trinidad.
He was able to hit him with the right hand and move out of the way.
Ooh, nice, and again ducks under the left hook. Beautiful from Bernard Hopkins. The second he finishes his combination, Bernard Hopkins is moving his head because he knows that something is coming back at him. He knows that Tito is going to try and take his head off with that left hook, so he's just not there for it. He drops his level, gets underneath the left hook, and exits off the ropes. Beautiful work from Bernard Hopkins.
When you got him close, make sure you use that jab and then the right hand. You got to throw more punches.
Hopkins has been outworking him.
If he starts pushing, you push him back. And if he comes close to you, work with him.
No one's even saying anything in Bernard's corner. They're just like, all right, well, you just go out and keep doing. Oh, nice short right hand. Another one. Beautiful short, straight right hands.
Quick punches and getting out of the way of the return.
Like I said, cold and clinical. He is not allowing himself to get into the heat of Trinidad's passion. He's boxing, moving, and winning.
That's hard to do.
We'd left hook.
You hurt a guy and don't go after the finish. This man is being extremely smart tonight. Hopkins.
Once again between rounds, Tito Trinidad asked his father if he's winning, and once again, Trinidad Sr. said, yes, you are.
I think Trinidad is asking that question because he doesn't really think he's winning.
No, I think he wore the
Nice
most
right hand.
look I've ever seen on his face between rounds. Harold Harold, how do you have it going into the 10th?
Okay, Jim, 7 rounds to 2, 88-83. Bernard Hopkins. You know what? I can't understand this. Bernard Hopkins and Felix Trinidad standing face to face. Bernard Hopkins gets up first every time he lands the jab with a straight right. I think Felix will come in on an angle.
Nice punch from Trinidad.
Right in front of him.
Nice punch.
Bernard gets up first and hurts him
That
all the
left
time.
hook is vicious, but he just can't find a home for it against Hopkins.
He expects that somewhere along the way.
He just can't find a home for it. Ooh, and Hopkins light him up. Nice left hook to the body. To the head and then goes to the body. Gets out of range before Tito can get off with that straight right hand.
He's leaning on Hopkins' left hand now. That's what he wants. Hopkins better be careful. That's it.
Short uppercut from Bernard.
Just wait on your left hand and close his overhand right.
Straight right. Jabs.
Hopkins beating him to the punch.
Hopkins
You
is
know,
just...
George, Trinidad has landed some big shots, but he hasn't hurt Hopkins.
Ooh, nice left hook from Hopkins.
There seemed to be no question about
Nice overhand right as Trinidad tries to jab.
But maybe the question
Hopkins is just ripping into him now. He's really a beautiful uppercut. Hooking off the uppercut. Uppercutting off the hook.
Extremely smart.
Trinidad is spending a lot of himself right here as he's been taking punishment.
Trinidad's landing some uppercuts of his own, but Hopkins is outworking him against the ropes. Hopkins is nice. Opens up with a 4-punch combo. Hopkins is... Oh, and again, the short right hand. Nice left hook. Another right. And they're fighting on the ropes the entire time. I think Tito's just getting desperate. He knows he's losing this fight. And so he's just kind of saying, fuck it. I'm going to go forward and do what I got to do to give myself a chance to win. But that's falling right into Bernard's hands. And Bernard is making him pay for it.
Clock still running. Trinidad running out of time.
Short uppercut, overhand right from Hopkins. Look at how tight he keeps his guard. The second, Trinidad throwing that left hand. Ooh. Oh, okay. We're gonna watch that one again because that's some really slick, crafty inside work from Bernard Hopkins. All right, we'll back it up a little bit here. Oh, God damn it. Back it up a little bit here. All right, let's slow mo. Yeah, okay. So watch this. Watch. Okay, Trinidad is on fucking volume. Trinidad is pushing his way in, and watch Hopkins turn into him with his shoulder. Ugh. He turns into him with his shoulder. What that does is now any punch that Trinidad tries to throw with his right hand is probably just going to bounce off that shoulder because of how Bernard, he's got his chin down in good position. So he's basically taken that right hand of Felix Trinidad completely out of the mix. And now by forcing into him with his shoulder in a very bladed stance, he's pulling his right hand back, creating space. So that right hand, when he throws it, is going to have more power on it because it's a bit longer of a distance when he goes to this bladed stance and he's framing up into him with his shoulder. And now, another really subtle thing that I like that he did there. Let's watch it, slow motion. Let's watch the punch. And he doesn't just go for the uppercut that he wanted. What he does is he plays a little game of deception here. Shows a nice short slappy right hook right about here. And then when he throws the right hook, that's going to make Tito widen his guard a little bit. So he basically threw the punch to make Tito open up his guard and leave the hole for the uppercut, which is the punch he really wanted to land, and he rocks Tito with it. And Hopkins sees, he's like, oh yeah, let's do this. And Hopkins starts coming forward. Beautiful stuff from Bernard Hopkins as the round comes to an end.
Trinidad almost looks out on his feet.
Beautiful inside fighting from Bernard Hopkins. Brilliant stuff. Cat's amazing.
How you feeling, Tito? You okay? Can you fight another round? Can you fight another round? Let me know.
Can you fight another round? This is his father. Felix was trained by his father. And, you know, it's got to be tough watching your kid go through that. You know, Felix Trinidad is a tough guy. And his father is a tough guy, too. But to watch his son just get beat up and just thoroughly outboxed. It's got to be tough. Can he fight another round? And to his eternal credit, Felix Trinidad gets his ass up and goes for another round. No quitting Felix Trinidad whatsoever. Very tough guy.
Hopkins has been beyond 10 rounds 14 times in his career. Trinidad 8.
Hopkins opens with the lead left hook.
On Harold Letterman's scorecard as we
left hook, uppercut. And Trinidad just collapses. It's a trip. Hopkins was leaning down on the back of his head as Trinidad was trying to pivot away. And, you know, his feet got tangled up. And Trinidad fell down.
Trinidad is weakening.
Very weak. Gotta be careful with him. He steals that powerful punch.
Ooh, nice. Jab, uppercut combination.
Tiring for the moment.
Taking advantage of that center line. It's usually open against somebody in the high guard. The center line is the go-to attack against somebody in the high guard.
$100,000 on himself to win the fight.
Hopkins bet $100 grand on himself to win the fight. That's confidence, man. That's a bad man right there. Ooh, nice cross counters. Felix tried to show the jab, and Hopkins just caught him with a counter right hand over the top of it.
Trinidad has landed maybe 2 punches in the round. Bernard is taking target practice.
I doubt if his corner will let him come out another round.
Thank you.
His daddy still telling him he's winning.
No, his dad may have to tell him to sit it out. Hopkins is dangerous now. All of a sudden, he's starting to smell victory and even a knockout.
Which is probably a good idea for Trinidad. You know, he's getting pieced up. Needs a moment to collect himself, but I think it's pretty clear at this point that Bernard is... Oh, nasty uppercut, left hook. Hooking off the uppercut, people, is beautiful. It works. It's 2 power punches that take advantage of 2 totally different striking lanes, and one opens up the other. Hooking off the uppercut is brilliant for when you want a power punch. When you really want to do damage to a guy. Hooking off the uppercut and uppercutting off the hook. Nice left hook from Bernard Hopkins. Grabs him with the lead left hand, and then lands that right uppercut. Short jab, uppercut. Oof, beautiful. Hopkins turns the tables, puts Tito on the ropes.
Trinidad is hurt from the accumulation of punishment as round 11 comes to a close.
Looking good, son. You can't stay there now. Last round coming up, you got to close. You got to close big, all right? Close big. Last round. Last round, baby. How you look? Soldier, do what you do. Pop that check.
How you look? Soldier, do what you do.
Let me please know. This is the last round. How you feeling, Tito? How you feeling? I'm okay.
Tito says he's okay.
Now, he's going to come after you now. So you...
Take my back. Take my back. Put the water, boy. You on? Got it on, baby. It's in the computer.
All right, count your box numbers. Tito Trinidad threw only 14 punches in the 11th round. He looked like a fighter with very little left in the tank. Now let's see what
Trinidad looks done.
What might be the last
They touch gloves now.
Harold, how do you have it coming to the 12th?
I'll get you 108, 101, 9 rounds to to Bernard Hopkins. I only gave Tito Trinidad rounds 1 and 6. All the rest of Bernard Hopkins boxing beautifully from the outside.
Get out, get out.
Hopkins better go for safety and get a knockout. You just can't trust judges.
Well, Hopkins still wants to fight. He's not sitting on his lead. He's seen somebody try to do that against Trinidad without success.
Hopkins is just beating the shit out of him.
Imposing his will
Hopkins
and
is
his
just...
skill on the man who
Oh,
is to
man.
come
Nice
the
double
lesser
left hook
fighter.
to grab around the head, get out close on the inside, and land that right uppercut.
Trinidad continues to
Hopkins is thinking moves ahead.
He'll never quit.
Like a chess master.
no
Like a chess master. Beautiful stuff. Oh! We are going to watch that again. Oh, my God. Did you see that shit? All right. All right. So, where we at here? I'm going to turn down the volume because it sounds like shit in slow motion. All right. Let's go a little farther back. Yeah, let's go. Let's take this beautiful shot of Steve Smoker's ass. All right. So here, Bernard, they're at long range, right? Bernard's going to step in with a left uppercut. And you can see already Tito is loading up for that left hook. But look at where Bernard's hand is. It's right up, perfect position to take an incoming left hook. But watch Bernard's feet here. This is the really interesting part. Watch his foot. Bernard steps forward into the southpaw stance. He had his hand high. He threw the uppercut, so he's got both hands now up in the path of that left hook. And when he steps into southpaw, what he does is his right hand he's now standing on Tito's side. He can see his ear. And the second you can see your opponent's ear in a boxing match, you need to be throwing punches. And Bernard lets go of a vicious right hand from this angle and just drops him. Nice. And a little shove just to, put Tito off balance. Beautiful shot from Bernard Hopkins. Let's turn this shit back up.
I'm not sure Tito can get up. He's got the desire. He's never been
He's trying. He's up. Tito's up, but the trainer comes in the ring. Tito's father refused to watch him take any more of a beating. And Hopkins is just laying on his back.
Hopkins has put himself up there in the list of all the great middleweights. His 14th consecutive defense of his
Beautiful
title.
stuff from Bernard Hopkins.
Trinidad
Beautiful
beat the
stuff.
man. He was
He's just laying in the ring staring at the ceiling.
He was beaten physically. He was beaten.
What a great fight.
With the
A
smarts.
masterclass turned in by Bernard Hopkins on how to manipulate range, how to fight on the inside. Beautiful stuff from Bernard Hopkins. Excellent fight.
Here's a guy who tonight, just as he has through his whole career, did it his way. He insisted on his individuality, his right to govern his career and his life on his own terms. It cost him a lot. He got it all back tonight.
There was a lot of inspiration in New York City for the United States flag, and he bit into the inspiration.
Great fight. Great fight. Amazing work from Bernard Hopkins. Crazy toughness from Trinidad. What more can I say? It was beautiful stuff. Alright, guys. I'm out. Like and subscribe. You know the shit.